Welcome. My name's Christine and I am really glad to be here. I'm happy you're here. This is the first video of a 7-video series that I will be doing on the chakras. I'm going to try to do these live without a lot of editing. So if you notice that I trip up or get kind of lost, that's why. Just know that I'm human and I'm pretty confident that we'll get through it and we'll get through it together. So feel free to leave comments. Let me know if you have questions, if you have something to share. I am by no means an expert on any of this stuff, but I have found that connecting with these energy centers has really helped me in my, not only in my yoga practice, not only in my, everyday kind of day-to-day life, but also in kind of moving through just some of those challenges that we all face. So that being said, I will just give a little bit of basic information. The chakras there are 7 main energy centers, 7 main chakras, and they are along the midline of your body. Sometimes it's easiest to picture them near the spine. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get through. Again, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to share this. This is my first kind of YouTube, I don't know, series, or I guess my introduction to being a YouTube sensation. So please feel free to share the love, to tag people, to introduce people to me, to add them to the group, to just bring us all together. It's definitely something neat and very magical when you bring like-minded people together. So let's do that. Anyway, 7 main energy centers along the midline of the body. That's basically it. We're going to go over from the bottom all the way up. The first chakra is what we are going to discuss today. But just know that they kind of build on top of each other. They definitely have their own traits, their own qualities, different things that might show imbalances in the specific chakra, but they also do sort of work together. So starting from the bottom all the way to the top, you're kind of, earth, and then up into spirit, the spirit realm, to the universe. Excuse me. Okay, so that being said, we'll move right along. The very first chakra is the root chakra. It's Muladhara in Sanskrit. This is the chakra that represents our foundation. So like I was just saying, starting from the earth, starting from our root, starting from the base, moving up. This root chakra is very conditioned to feeling safe, to feeling secure, to feeling stable. You might find imbalance if you are feeling sort of lost, like you don't belong somewhere anywhere. If you feel like you aren't safe in your environment, and that doesn't mean like, physically unsafe, because if you are actually unsafe, I suggest that you hang up the phone and call 911. But as far as like safe, maybe in a safe space where you can share your feelings, or feeling secure in your relationships or in your job, or those kind of things. If you are feeling those kind of things, you might want to draw some attention to your root chakra. Your root chakra is, again, your foundation. It is governed by the earth sign. So again, if you think about, one of the things I picture for the root chakra is like a mountain, right? Like a sturdy, solid, it's safe, it's not going anywhere. It is very sturdy, very sturdy. I think of, and then that also relates kind of to the earth sign and how it relates to that. The color that it that governs the root chakra is red. So that kind of deep, vibrant red, really any shade, but more so like red, like red. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And so sometimes in visualization, it's not as easy for me to just picture like red, right? To fill my visual with red. So I will picture kind of a red swirling ball of energy right at the very base of the spine. So that's where the root chakra sits, very, very base of the spine. It is where the Kundalini lies. And I don't know if you're familiar with yoga practice, but Kundalini yoga is a specific sort of modality. And it is said, it's believed that there is a snake that lays at the bottom of your spine at the root chakra. And as you move and as you breathe and as you work on balancing this root chakra, the snake sort of winds its way up. And once it reaches the crown chakra, which we'll get into, you know, all sorts of amazing things start to happen. So that's where your Kundalini sits. That is where we feel rooted, where we feel grounded. So picturing that energy center is sometimes helpful to me. Whether it's picturing energy or picturing smoke, sometimes is easier for me to visualize in my head. One thing that I do want you guys to be thinking about during these videos, all of them, after each one, I would like for you to take away your own mantra. And a mantra is basically like an affirmation. It typically starts with an I am blank. So some of the things we already talked about, I am strong, I am sturdy, I am stable. It also deals a lot with our trust, right? Like trusting the process, trusting in the universe, trusting God, whatever that looks like to you. But trust is a big thing in there. So if you feel like you're not really trusting a lot of people, maybe you should work a little bit on your root chakra. Okay, moving on. There are lots of different sounds. Like right now I have Spotify playing. There's a root chakra balancing playlist. There are a lot of sounds that will help tune your root chakra. So going a little bit deeper into that, vibrations are, everything is vibration, right? Everything is energy, and all energy has a vibration. It's vibrating at some sort of level. So different sounds, different pitches, different vibrations are going to help kind of tune that chakra. A little further into that, specifically for the root chakra, there is a seed sound, a bijou sound for each chakra. For the root chakra, that sound, that word is lam, L-A-M. Okay? So as we move through this practice, we will get into a few poses in just a minute, but you can be either saying lam out loud, or you can say it internally. Either way, the vibrations are there and are going to help you balance this root chakra. Really quick, before we get into the poses, there's just a few of them. It's going to be really simple. So if you want to, while I finish talking about this other stuff, get yourself situated, get into something comfortable, sweat, something that you can move around in easily, and find a space that you can sit and, you know, maybe move around a little bit. It doesn't have to be super extreme. If you don't have any props, that's fine. You don't need a yoga mat to practice yoga. You don't need a blanket, and you don't need a block. However, we're going to use this block, or maybe a book, maybe a rolled up blanket, or maybe nothing at all. It is definitely not required, and you'll still get to participate and do these poses whether you have props or not. This is going to be used at the very, 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 very end, and only briefly. So don't worry so much about that if you don't have a yoga block. Okay, Also thinking about your mantra, right? What is that? I am safe. I am strong. It doesn't have to be that short. It can be longer. I am safe and strong. I am safe, secure, and trust the universe. That's mine. Keep thinking about those, and I will encourage you to write them down, because you might think that you can remember all of them, but chances are you're not going to. And then by the end of all this, you'll be like, I don't remember what my root chakra mantra was. Not that you can't figure it out. Anyway, by the time we're done with this, you're going to have 7 mantras that you can take with you that you can use in sequence, right, when you're having a bad day, or just picking out the ones that you need on any given day or any given moment, or as situations present themselves and you need to work through them, balance yourself out. Okay, last thing before we get to poses is the yantra for the root chakra. And that's basically like a symbol, right? It's a symbol. And this might be so like over your head, you don't really care. That's totally fine. I don't know why, but this part, I really like this. And it helps me to visualize this symbol when I'm struggling, which I do struggle sometimes, to visualize the energy center itself, right? So if you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes, or you can look at me, that's fine too. But what I would like you to picture is a upside down triangle, right? Upside down triangle. And this upside down triangle represents a few things. It represents the integration of knowledge, will, and action, okay? And those obviously are important things, 3 sides. It also represents the need to integrate mind, body, and soul. How all of those things are connected, right? So upside down triangle, it's usually a soft red. That's a lot to remember. Anyway, downward facing triangle inside of a yellow box, or inside a box, inside a square. And this square represents the earth, the stability of the earth, the kind of, you know, solidity of the earth and of the root chakra. Downward facing triangle inside a square, right? It's inside a circle. Lots of steps. Downward facing triangle inside a square that's inside a circle. This circle has 4 petals, right? So if you think of like a lotus flower, or even a rose, any sort of flower, anything that has petals, 4 petals around it. Those 4 petals represent the 4 forms of bliss. Bonus points if you can tell me what those 4 forms of bliss are. Downward facing triangle inside a square, inside a circle with 4 petals. Downward facing triangle inside a square, inside a circle with 4 petals. If that's easier for you to sort of visualize as we're working through these poses and working on balancing our root chakra, perfect. If it's easier for you to remember the sound, lam, that's perfect too. Maybe it's a red swirling ball of energy down at the base of your spine. Whatever it is, whatever's easiest for you, please just do that, and maybe explore some of the other things as we move along. Okay? Okie dokie. I think we'll just move right into it. I talked already a little bit about the visualization. So just our seated warm-up. Anybody that comes to my yoga class is going to be familiar with this warm-up. So we're just sitting in an easy seat. Whatever that looks like to you, please get yourself comfortable. If you need to pause the video, do that. Sitting down, just cross-legged. If that's uncomfortable and you want to bring one foot on top for a half lotus, that's perfect. It's whatever. We're just sitting comfortably on our butts, okay? On our butts, on the floor, or on a blanket, or on a mat, or on, you know, whatever, wood floor, particularly something that's solid because we are going to be moving around. Okay. Anyway, seated, and just sit for a moment. You can get yourself kind of acclimated.
ruin your whole video.
And start, please don't, and start breathing. Just breathing into the belly, breathing deep into the belly. Visualizing that red ball of energy, very, very base of your spine, the tailbone. Starting to repeat our seed sound or visualize the yantra, that symbol. And just imagine yourself feeling safe. Maybe you've already figured out your mantra. And maybe that's something that you want to just start repeating to yourself, affirming to yourself and to the universe. Whatever works for you. Yoga isn't a specific, you have to do it this way. At least I don't think. Okay, so deep breaths, quieting the mind, getting those wiggles out. Very good. Easy twist coming up. Very simple, very easy. We're just warming up the spine. Inhale, bring your right arm up. And on the exhale, turn to twist. Breathing deeply. Using the inhales to draw the spine up. The exhales to deepen the twist, maybe just a little bit. Want to keep your chin and shoulder parallel. Very good. Use an inhale to come back to center. Shake it out. Other side when you're ready. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, turning to twist. Again, using that breath to lengthen the spine and deepen the twist. Great work. Let's come back to center using an inhale. Shake yourself out. Also, if you've ever practiced yoga with me, I'm going to tell you to switch the direction of your feet. So whichever foot was on top, move it to the bottom. Whichever foot was on the bottom, move it to the top. If you haven't done this ever, or if you don't do it very often, it's going to feel really weird. But I promise, we're going to balance it out. We're going to balance it out. All right. Inhale, bring both arms up this time. Exhale, we fold. Bring your hands down to the mat. Look down at the mat or the floor, whatever. See if you can walk your fingertips up a little bit more. Breathing nice and deep into the belly. Filling that space between the legs. Nicely done. Last exhale. And we're going to walk our hands back up. Okay. And I want you to, as we're moving through these poses, whatever is touching the mat, whatever. So like right now, in our easy seat, feel our roots. Feel those roots rooting us down, securing us into the earth, into the ground beneath us. And just start to feel safe and feel secure, feel stable. Start to imagine that energy center circulating in a balanced way, moving freely, rocking out. Okay, boat poses next. I'm going to really get us rooted down. So I'm turning to the side, but you probably just need to kick your legs out in front. There's a few variations to boat pose. It's not, it can be challenging. We're gonna start off slow. So first variation, keep your heels up and lean back. So we have this nice V shape here, okay? This is variation number 1, lovely. Variation number 2, lifting the feet off the mat so that your shins are parallel with the ceiling, but still maintaining this V shape. You can hold on to the back of your legs if that helps you to maintain this. We don't want any of this, none of this. That's bad news. Keeping the small of the back nice and elongated. This is boat pose. If you feel comfortable and you can let go, It really fires up your core. So the reason that I put this in is so that not only can you feel the tightness in your core, in that area of the chakra, but also so that we can root down through our bones, right? I know we're holding it for a long time, maybe shaking a little bit, energy is building, I'm getting warm, I don't know about you. Go ahead and release. Kick those legs out long. And feel, if I don't notice, if you can feel that sensation, the tightening of that area is right down, very, very, very base of your spine. Okay, I'm gonna actually come back this way. See, I'm still working on some things, still working out logistics, but it's fine. And I'm actually coming to you from my grandma's living room, which is very special to me, but I don't know for sure if we'll do this every time. So anyway, kick those legs out in front. You're gonna bring your right leg up. Excuse me, bent at the knee. You need about a fist width of distance between your inner thigh and your heel. I like to make it a little bigger even so that my torso can fit, because we're gonna fold and you don't want to really end up like this, right? If your foot's too close and you can't access the fold, we don't want to compromise that. So a little bit of distance here. Inhale, bringing both arms up. Exhale, hinging, folding, reaching for that foot. Maybe you can grab the foot, maybe you can grab the ankle, maybe it's the shin, maybe it's the knee. Wherever you're at, it's wonderful. Looking down at your knee, nose towards the knee, and just breathing. Every few breaths, you might be able to sink a little deeper. This pose is really good for your digestive system on both sides, so it's another little bonus. Nice work. Slowly come back up. We're gonna switch sides. So drop that knee down, grab the other leg, bring it in. Little bit of space, maybe a little more space. I even kind of get the belly, twist in, create that space. Both arms are gonna come up, big inhale. Exhale, hinge, fold, reach. Reach and then relax. Breathing nice and deep. Very good. Excuse me. Use a round of breath to draw yourself back up. Both legs out. Let's do one quick fold just because I love a good forward fold. And yeah, let's just do it. Inhale, reaching up. Feel those roots coming down through all the back of your legs as you exhale. Reaching, 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 and relax. Feeling all those roots securing us into the earth beneath. Nicely done. Walk yourself back up. We're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. So if you have props or anything in the way, we're going to kick those feet behind us. Come onto all fours. Move this blanket. So from our table, tuck those toes, lift your hips up. Find the first downward dog of the practice. Sending your hips up nice and high, reaching your heels down. This time, feeling those roots coming down through our heels, through our feet, through our hands. Gentle bend in the elbows, that's important. Walk yourself up and hang in a forward fold. Bend your knees generously if you need to. Shake your head a few times. We will start to make our way to standing, so please gently roll yourself up. Very good. Tadasana. This is our mountain pose. You can't see me. Hold on. This will work for now. Mountain pose. I love talking about mountain pose when discussing the chakras because, like I said earlier, to me, an easy visualization for the root chakra is a mountain. So in your mountain pose, nice and sturdy, nice and firm, nice and strong. Deep breaths. Remembering that mantra, I am strong, I am sturdy like a mountain. Or that seed sound, lum, lum, lum. You can make mountain pose a very active pose. So if you really root those heels down, activate the quads, reach your fingertips towards the ground, becomes a very strong pose. And I think that that's very powerful. So you can go ahead and relax out of your Tadasana. I gotta move this just really quick. Sorry guys, sorry. Again, thank you for your patience. I'm not perfect and we're just kind of trying to figure out how to make this work. Okay. That should do it. Now I know. Okay. So, if you're at the top of your mat, I'm going to have you take your left foot and drop back. So your front toes are pointed towards the front of your mat. Back foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. We're going to come into a warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Most people, if you are familiar with yoga, have learned this pose. You know this pose. So your hips are going to be square out and not, they're square towards the long edge of the mat. You're going to bend in your front knee. Go ahead and take a look at your knee. If you can see your toe, you're doing a good job. If not, you need to move that foot out a little bit. We're not robots, so just go ahead and make those adjustments as you need. You want the weight on the outer edge of your back foot. When you're ready and you feel strong and sturdy and stable, go ahead and bring those arms out. Drawing the shoulder blades together. We're staring down that middle finger, looking into our future with confidence because we are strong. We are resilient. We will overcome. Deep breaths. Feeling that energy center at the very, very base of the spine. It's swirling. Energy is moving. It's nice and balanced. For this last breath, I'd really like for you to reach your arms away from each other. Feel that nice stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Drop those hands down. Very good. And straighten this front leg. Pivot on that foot so that both feet are parallel. Okay, we're going to go into a nice wide-legged pose. If you need to narrow your stance a little bit, again, we're not robots. It's a practice. We're moving our bodies, so make adjustments as you need. Never compromise. It should never hurt. Form is very important, so just, just being mindful. Yoga is all about being mindful. All right, hands are on the hips. Nice big breath. We're going to draw our crown towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, we're going to hinge and fold forward. Let your hands go about halfway down so that they can brace you. Gentle bend in your knees or a generous bend, whatever feels nice, whatever feels good, whatever works for your body. And if you need to adjust your feet, this is a good time to do that. And then go ahead and relax. Draw the crown towards the earth. Shake that head a few times. Nicely done. We're going to make our way back up. Come up about halfway. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to so you can come up with a nice flat back. That's important. Okay? Nice straight legs again. Drop those hands if you need to. We're just going to flip and go to warrior two on this side. So the back foot, what was the back foot will now be the front foot. So pivoting on that front foot so that the front foot is facing the short edge of the mat. And the back foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat, the other side of the mat. All right, weight again on the outer edge of this foot. Bend in your front knee. Make sure you can see your toe. Hips square towards me, towards the video, I guess, maybe, hopefully. Out towards the long edge of your mat. Both arms come out. Drawing those shoulder blades together. Sometimes it's easier to draw those to feel that sensation if you flip your palms, and then like your shoulder blades kind of naturally go closer together, and then you can flip them back and try to maintain that energy. So again, just staring down your opponent. Watch this leg. It kind of tends to like to creep up here. We want to keep it bent. Rooting down through those feet. Staring down our opponents. We are fierce warriors. This last breath, again, reach those arms away. Nice stretch. Exhale, drop those arms down. Straighten this front leg. Pivoting again. We'll heel toe our feet together until we come to the top of your mat or to center. Only a few more left. We're going to make our way back down to the ground. So, gotta fix this. All right. I'm only human. Okay, so feet are going to be about hips width apart, but you pivot on those feet so that your toes are pointed out towards the edge, the corners of your mat. Okay, we're just going to come down into a squat. So gently drawing the body down. Okay, your heels are probably going to be off the mat. That's wonderful. We're getting back into it. Okay, so from your into our squat. This is Malasana. I wonder if you guys ever even saw the kitty. That makes me sad. Okay, so from Malasana, you can hang out here for a few minutes. You can play on your toes. You can set your heels down. Maybe come into prayer position. Whatever works for you. When you're ready, draw those hands behind. Use them to brace yourself as you come onto your bum. Okay, so feet are together. We're bringing the heels in as much as we can. This creates a lot of sensation just on its own. So if you feel like it's a little too much, draw those heels away. If you need a little bit more, draw those heels together. Opening the feet up creates a different sensation in the back of the legs. And if you keep your toes, the toe mounds together, it's a little bit more intense. So just whatever feels good to you today, play around with it a little bit. This right here on its own can create a lot of sensation. So hanging out right here, if you need a little extra weight, that is perfect. Or if you do want a little bit more, like me, you can, with a nice long spine, big inhale, reaching up nice and tall. We have a mocha. Exhaling, you hinge forward. Coming down only to the degree that feels good. Hi, all these animals. This is a little fat dog. She's a fat dog. Silly girl. Silly girl. Deep breaths. Very good. Hey, kitties. Gently rolling back up into a seated position. Quit it! Sorry, cats are fighting. All right, last two poses. This is where your block or those books or a rolled up blanket, something along the lines would do good, would serve you. If you don't have anything like that, it's totally fine. It's definitely not a requirement. Bring your knees together. We're gonna come onto our backs. So I'm gonna shift slightly, come onto your back. Keep the knees up, shoulder blades nice and level on the mat. Arms down by the sides. Oh, if you have that block, grab that block. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So variation 1 with no block. Arms are down by the sides. We're going to lift our hips up. I'm sure that you've seen this a time or two. Bridge pose is a pretty common pose. So you can tuck your shoulder blades under. Make sure you're evenly distributing the weight in your legs, on both legs. Holding. If you want to make it more intense, you can squeeze your glutes. Make it more relaxed. Let them go. Support yourself with a block or a blanket or a book. Feel those roots coming down through your hands, through your feet. If this is a non-supported bridge and you're still holding an active pose, good job, you can do it. Feel free to hang out here as long as you want or revisit this pose, but we are going to move on. Lifting the hips up, moving that block out, and slowly lowering the hips back onto the ground. You can draw your knees in real quick if you want a little massage. Last pose is our legs up the wall. Very simple, legs up the wall. You can bend your knees so that they kind of rest in gravity, easier above the torso. Just for a few moments, giving your heart a break. Breathing deep into your belly. Close your eyes down and start to repeat that mantra. I hope that you've decided on your mantra. Start repeating your mantra to yourself. I am strong. I am stable. I trust in the universe. The root chakra, side note, also governs our legs, which kind of makes sense. So if you want to look at your feet and just maybe say a prayer of gratitude for all the places that they've taken us. One of my favorite quotes, and if you've ever taken a yoga class with me, you probably know this too. I don't even know who said it. I used to complain about my shoes until I met a man with no feet. I don't know why, but that has always stuck with me, and every time I look at my feet, I think about that quote. And I'm just very grateful that I have feet and shoes. And that I'm able to go to all the places. I'm grateful that I've been where I've been. And I am excited about where I'm going. And I hope you are too. So with that said, go ahead and lower those legs back down. Rock your way back up into a seated position. All right, friends. Thank you so much. You've been lovely. This has been quite an interesting experience. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. I'm sure it'll get better. So again, leave comments, ask questions, share, like, all of those good things. And I'll see you guys next week. Plan is to do it every Thursday and probably, you know, share it not on a Thursday at some point. So anyway, thank you very much. If it's in your practice, you can bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath. From the light in me to the light in each of you. Namaste.